clearing up, and I'm feeling better, and my skin's better. My brother said I look 10 years younger already.
Wow. Okay.
My vision is clear. I already see the difference. People are seeing the difference, and my doctor is seeing the difference.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. For a limited time, you can receive a 30% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.
First-time unemployment claims fell again last week. USA Radio Network's Chris Barnes has the details.
The Labor Department saying around 211,000 Americans filed first-time claims for jobless benefits last week, and that was 4,000 fewer than the previous week. The biggest increases in claims were in New York, California, and Ohio. The steepest declines in claims in Massachusetts, Illinois, and North Carolina. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
Major League Baseball, the NHL, and the NBA have all suspended their operations because of the coronavirus epidemic sweeping across the United States. Owner of the NBA's Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, says now's not the time to be thinking about basketball.
This is people's lives at stake. This isn't about basketball. This is a pandemic, a global pandemic. This is something out of a movie.
NASCAR also says the race is on for this weekend in Atlanta, but no fans will be allowed to attend. And you're listening to USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
The U.S. is fighting back after 2 troops were killed in Iraq. Airstrikes were launched today targeting 5 facilities storing weapons. It was a direct response to yesterday's rocket attack on a base with coalition troops. A British soldier was also killed and 14 others wounded. The U.S. blames an Iranian-backed group that's been firing rockets in recent weeks. Sunday night's Democratic presidential debate is being moved from Phoenix to Washington, D.C. A statement from the DNC says the move was made out of an abundance for caution in order to reduce cross-country travel related to the growing coronavirus crisis. Regarding the 2020 presidential race, it's always a tall task to defeat the incumbent, as Democrats saw in 2004 and Republicans saw in 2012. Jim Messina, former campaign manager for President Obama's 2012 election, though, believes that former Vice President Joe Biden does have a chance to knock off President Trump.
I think Joe Biden is better prepared for a couple of reasons. One, the economic downturn we're currently seeing plays right into President Trump's strength on the economy. And if those economic numbers stay down into the second quarter.
But what if they stay up? I mean, what if they stabilize and the fundamentals are strong?
Then, I think you're still going to have the closest election we've seen in a very long time. If you look at the president's numbers, his numbers are just trading a very small band, as you and I've talked about before. He just isn't at the numbers Barack Obama was or George Bush was at this exact same moment.
For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
The following is an America Matters Media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Welcome to this evening's episode of Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush, and we are a production of America Matters Media, the home of quality conversation. You can check us out on the web at americamatters.us. That's americamatters.us. We are also on Facebook at facebook.com/Reno Rush Hour. That's also my Twitter handle, so you can follow me there and like me on Facebook. I just hit 900 likes. Woo! And so you can also interact with us. This is an interactive program. We would love to have you call in toll free from anywhere in the world, 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Or you can just drop us a comment in the Facebook Watch Party comments box. So we can shout out to you that way or answer any questions or comments you may have. And I have been joined by the amazing, stupendous Steffi Joe. Finally, my goodness, it's been over a half a year since we met, and I've been wanting to have you on the show, and I unfortunately lost contact, and so I regained it through our amazing connector here, Michelle Perry Roberts, who we also love. And so, hi. Welcome to the set.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, glad to have you. And so tell our listeners and viewers basically who you are, how you happened into Reno, what you do now, and what you're here for. We're going to go deeper into detail about the event that we're going to talk about, but kind of give us a little an introduction. So everybody knows who Michelle is, so we'll start.
Oh, yes.
We'll start with you.
Michelle. Yes, we love Michelle. So, yes, I'm Steffi Jo Parachute. I'm the eWomen Network managing director here in Reno. I moved permanently to Reno about almost a year now, and the managing director had retired, and I have been a longtime member of eWomen in Arizona. And I thought, I'm a business owner. Where's my peeps, basically? Where's my other women business owners? I really wanted to connect. And I'm in a new city. I love it. And this is a perfect way.
And so tell us kind of about your background. Tell us about your aviation.
Oh, yes.
That's fun.
Well, that might say something about my age, but...
Oh, nobody cares. You don't look it. You don't act it.
Oh, thank you.
So.
I'll take that. But no, I've been I'm a co-founder of a general aviation parts company in Arizona, and oh gosh, it was started in May of 1984. So it was, I'm a woman in a man's world starting a business from scratch, and lots of learning going on through the years around that.
Absolutely. But it's all a part of what gives you, your strength, your power, your character, and the ability to lead something like eWomen.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. I think through those years and everything, what I found is I loved working with people. And, since it was so male dominated and everything, I found that anytime I could mentor or help another woman in business or my employees grow, that's when, my passion was around that. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of a natural for me when, connecting with eWomen, because it is about lift as you climb. It's about helping each other and supporting women in business. And that's me. That's been my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I was fortunate too. I consider it very fortunate to have worked in male-dominated industries my entire career. And, well, in the era we grew up, that's what it was. Yes. It was manufacturing. It was distribution. It was warehousing. It was trucking. It was, those were the big industries that were coming up. Those was what was growing. IT, that was what there was. So that's where you went to work.
Exactly.
I started out as a, in customer service and as a glorified secretary and as, but you learned the business that way. Yeah. I learned a lot of my leadership skills that way. Tell me, one of us that wasn't sexually harassed and had to learn how to deal with it. There was no protection and HR and EOC and all of that. Yeah. So you had to learn to F back when you got F'd with. And you got respect that way.
Yeah.
So
we had learned how to stand up for ourselves and as women leaders, and come up through and past and break through that.
We didn't have snowflake crying rooms and huggy blankets.
And I was always the woman salesperson on the men's team. So you had to learn how to
That's right.
bow down.
Yep.
So I'm proud of it. I feel very fortunate to have grown up that way, and doesn't bother me a bit.
No, and I think there's a reason we were chosen, I guess, or to grow up in that era, so we can help the women today.
Now, I was talking to Christian about this earlier, that I look back on every single thing I've been through, and there's all these shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but I look back now, every single damn nasty thing leads me to where I am sitting in this moment, and I see the future of how I need to use it all.
Yes.
Just so crystal clear.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I mean, it just gives me the chills.
Yes.
Because I'm so excited. And, I have major depressive disorder with suicidal ideology. I wake up every morning and fight with my head and get up and push it away and go, stop it, get up, do my thing. And I said to somebody the other day, I can't wait for the next 50, meaning years of my life. What?
But,
it just,
yeah. But, I just, and I'm listening to you and I see you and I see the passion. Out of the chaos comes the passion, for these next part of our years
and
here.
We're all coming together and finding each other.
Yeah.
And it's, it's mostly women. There are some magical men too.
Yeah.
That are playing roles.
Yeah.
But it's mostly women.
It's our time.
It's crazy. So we've got to go to our first break. We will be back for the second segment of today's Rush Hour with Kelly Rush, Steffi Joe, and Michelle Perry Roberts after these messages talking about some magic. We'll be right back.
It's your worldwide invite to Charbecue, the Butcher's Kitchen. Perfection tri-tip, rib tips, and brisket. Rotisserie chicken with the white sauce. All hardwood smoked. Old world sausage aged to perfection. Wood smoke fire. Charbecue, the Butcher's Kitchen. 7689 South Virginia. Call in and pick up dinner. Charbecue, the Butcher's Kitchen. Get in and get real.
Ready for a live game of Clue? For nearly 30 years, Funtime Theaters held private and monthly dinner murder mysteries. Each night is different, and each event includes dinner and a show. You're the detective, and your job is to figure out who did what to who and why. At the end of the night, a super sleuth and not so super sleuth are awarded prizes. This is a great event for a birthday or holiday party and team building events for your office. Visit funtimetheater.com to make your reservations and use promo code RADIO for $5 off each admission.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media
on AM 1180 KCKQ,
a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the second segment of today's Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush, and I have really cool people with me today. I've got Steffi Joe of the E-Women Network. Are you the president?
No, I'm the managing director of the Reno chapter.
Managing director of the Reno chapter. And Michelle Perry Roberts, who belongs to everything. What don't you belong to?
I've narrowed it down.
Okay.
E-Women is one of them that I love and adore.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And I need to join. How much is it to join?
Well, there's a one-time initiation fee of $357, and that's it. And then there's monthly dues, $19.95 each month, no contract, good to go.
And then you do monthly lunches?
We have monthly luncheons. I bring in speakers from all over the place, and we get to do E-Women's known for their specific type of really targeted networking. So we do some rounds of that, making sure that everyone is connected and they get to meet the people that they're there to connect with. And then we have great speakers. And of course, we have great vendors that come, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
You know, so we have fun.
And where are the luncheons held?
They're at the Atlantis. Third Monday of every month.
Oh, yum. Atlantis, you can't beat their food.
I know. They do great. I love it.
I went to one where About Town Debbie McCarthy was there when she had Bliss Babe. And that was nice. That was a really fun one.
Yeah.
And I need to, my problem is I have, once I get here, I get landlocked and it's hard to leave to go, out.
Yeah.
And it's when is it? The third Wednesday?
Third Monday.
Oh, third Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Mondays are my worst day.
Yeah. Well, maybe we just need to send a car and kidnap you and
Yeah,
bring
I'll
you
pick
over.
Yeah, no, I do a show on Mondays at noon.
But we'll work it out. Now, this next event is coming up. It is out of the ordinary. It's on a Wednesday. So it's still, that's next week on the 18th, but we'll get you there. We'll figure it out. Though we're going to have something that come up, and I'm going to get Kelly there.
Right. And so what all else are you involved in? I know you you do some stuff with it was Euphoria,
correct?
Right, the DNA nutrition,
Right, the DNA nutrition,
and they've merged now.
Yes.
With Mavi.
Right.
So what is it called now, and tell me more about it.
Well, it's called 1U DNA, and we are doing DNA skincare, DNA specified what exercises to do, DNA diet,
recipes. There's all sorts of things.
So it's all
coming.
customized.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're not sure. This just happened.
This
so
just
you're not quite
happened
sure
just
yet.
Yeah, the press release was just out, so it is brand new.
So does Mavi have another analysis tool too that they can use with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They
That's
were
cool.
specified, especially in the DNA skincare. They had that line, and then they had all these other programs like DNA fitness, DNA, DNA diet. If you want to lose 15 pounds, they'll send you a list of foods to eat.
Right.
They'll send you recipes.
So all of that, and then in conjunction with what
DNA
Euphoria
designer, DNA
is doing
designer
with
nutrition.
It's like the perfect marriage because they each have their scientist and their physicians on staff, and they both have their own DNA. I guess their test, and in different ways. So they're bringing this marriage together of. It's like the two most dynamic DNA companies that's happening right now have come together to make it even better.
Nutritional.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to add
companies.
all those components,
Right.
but we would be 5 to 10 years
Oh
out.
my God!
Yeah.
Well, if somebody else is already doing it,
Yeah.
why would you reinvent the wheel?
And they didn't have our technology; we didn't have theirs.
Right. So that makes sense. That makes sense. And
So
then,
now we're global.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
instantly.
just- yeah.
Right.
Again, you have the whole new different market share. That makes so much sense, especially in the relationship marketing business.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to do it. But yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
And besides being cool, it's so much fun.
Yeah,
to
it's
know.
so much fun.
Well,
It really
that's
is.
the thing. I'm really interested in learning more and digging more into the science part of it and the analysis of it and finding out really
Well,
what
I would
it
love to
is.
set a meeting up with you, me, Garth, and Steffi Joe.
I would love that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would really love that.
Yeah.
And, you know,
It'll blow you away what they're doing today.
Yeah.
Well, and I've been talking to a lot of doctors and gym owners and med spas, kind of like being an old pharmaceutical sales rep. I'm a practitioner sales rep now. And they're going, I've never seen anything like this.
Right.
This is the first time I can see inside of a body without having to do a bunch of blood work.
Right. And blood work is hit or miss too,
Yep.
because it's only in the moment. It's what,
Right.
you know, it's so dependent on so many, you know, real-time factors.
Yes.
DNA doesn't change.
No, it doesn't change. That's
So,
But
It's
what the best
fascinating.
part it is you can change the variance of it.
right, you can
by-
turn
yeah,
you can
turn it
change
on.
the activation
Yep.
right.
of
right.
certain genes, you know, based on what you learn from your DNA.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know, your DNA doesn't change, but you can, you know, you can learn from it and then change how your
How it-
genetic
Right.
makeup operates, your operating system, if you will.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Because we're lengthening telomeres.
yes,
We're doing some amazing
that's
things.
the key.
Yeah.
I did. It's funny.
Don't you
Chris,
love-
I just
I love
said
the
that.
word
I love
telomeres.
telomeres. Communication.
Yes.
Mere communicate. You know, like
Exactly.
just it's
Yeah.
just communication.
Mm-hmm.
Is what telomeres says to me. It's just the way your body communicates. And if you can just keep that maintained, your body will be healthy
Yep. Yep.
and stay.
Exactly.
And you can keep doing it.
Yep.
And that's it. Telomerase is the substance that keeps it, you know, maintained and keeps the length, keeps it from breaking off.
Yeah.
And
It's exciting.
it is.
So
It
we'll
really is.
probably live to be 200 years old.
No, I don't know that.
Maybe our
buck
children's
20.
children.
A buck 20. I
children.
can see a buck 20.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
You know, I can see a healthy.
Yeah.
You know.
There are people, there have been people who, it can be done because it has been
But without being that shriveled old,
Right.
you know.
more have a healthier
Have at
environment.
least,
Yeah.
you know.
Hey, I have a wonderful husband. I want to live a very long life and explore. And
As long as, the thing about living a long life is that you're productive and not a resource eater. You know, that you're not draining. You know, I think that, I'm a fan of Dr. Kevorkian. I'm a fan of, people recognizing their usefulness and, the end of that, and that it is a fact and not, death is not the worst thing that happens to a person.
And we can die with dignity.
Absolutely.
And that's where, one of the things that we never talk about.
And and I think that part of this evolution into our future that we keep talking about is that we're going to understand that and understand that we are infinite and that this thing is just a temporary meat suit and that it's okay to let it go, that we can do this again.
Right.
And not to be afraid of it. So that, it's not a horror to think that, okay, I'm not going to extend this anymore. See you next time.
It's fascinating, all the different, I talk about spirituality, and, a greater, a higher power. I talk about God, and, it's hard to think about, is this all there is,
It absolutely is not. I can tell you that it absolutely is not.
Yeah.
And there are an infinite number of possibilities as to what there is. And we get to choose. That's the beauty of it. We picked this. We chose this. Yeah,
I know.
But it's been
we're
a great
funny
ride.
creatures. Yes,
Right.
I agree. A great ride.
Right.
With all the tragedy,
Right.
there's been a great
it's
ride.
right. We chose that, and our spirit buddies up there think we're so brave for doing this, and when they communicate with us, you know, and we when we do silly things to ourselves, like, you know, self-deprecate and block our manifestations, they're like, oh.
Can you just
They
see
get so
them?
frustrated.
They're just looking down.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Right.
What do you think you're doing?
Right.
Yeah.
No, they're just like,
Told you so.
Yeah.
and when we win, and when we get
Yeah.
the, you know, they're like, yeah, they party and they're excited, you know, because they think, you know, they're some of them are afraid to do this, you know.
Yeah.
This is hard.
Yeah.
Human third dimension existence is so tough. The word's really dense. So when they actually, like, when you physically get a sign, like if you've ever heard someone like speak your name, or when you hear something, or physically, you know, if you've ever had that experience, that's serious. Like, pay serious attention to that, because it is hard for them to actually come through. And so, you know, if that ever happens, like, that's a serious
Pay attention,
message.
right?
Yeah. So we've got to go to another break. We'll be back for the second half of today's Rush Hour with Kelly Rush, Steffi Joe, and Michelle's got to go. So we'll see her next time. Turn the mic off there. Thank you. And have a good mixer. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, babe.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Patterson. I'm the founder and owner of Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists. At Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists, we take a comprehensive approach to treating patients with chronic pain in the greater Reno, Tahoe area. We believe in the biopsychosocial model. This means we use multiple disciplines such as massage therapy, physical therapy, behavioral health, and medical treatments to treat your chronic pain. A plan of care is tailor-made for each individual patient. We always recommend conservative care first, but offer minimally invasive treatments when necessary. We are your one-stop shop. If it hurts, we can help. We pride ourselves in providing passionate care and making you feel welcome and understood. We are located in Reno and in Sparks, so give us a call to schedule a new patient consult at 284-8650. Again, that's 284-8650. Or visit our website at nvadvancedpain.com. We hope you choose Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists to be your center for injury rehabilitation. nvadvancedpain.com, 284-8650.
It's sweet. There's no place like it. And as we all know, it's where the heart is. Home. It matters. I'm Grant Brewer with Home at Last, a housing program of Nevada Rural Housing Authority. Join me and expert guests every Tuesday at 4 p.m. on KCKQ 1180 for Home Matters, a show dedicated to all things, well, home. Each week I chat with the industry's best. Lenders, real estate professionals, builders, insurance experts, home inspectors, developers, and specialized housing program experts. They grace the mic and we dig into today's hot housing topics. Tune in to Home Matters each Tuesday at 4 p.m. at 1180 a.m. KCKQ, the home of community radio. Or listen live and listen again online at americamatters.us. Join us.
Welcome to my house. It's my house.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your home or getting evicted. The answer is the difference between receiving medical treatment or not. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against people based on their answer to this question. LGBT Americans have the right to say I do, but they don't have the same basic rights as everyone else. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Guild Foundation and the Ad Council.
This overload
Shannon Lawson here. Join us for the Nevada Radio Roundup, Fridays at 2 p.m. A good news variety show all about the local scene. The Nevada Roundup, Friday at 2.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the second half of today's Rush Hour. The announcer is right. Give us a call toll free from anywhere in the world, 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Or you can just drop us a line in the Facebook comments watch party. Yeah. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? What do you have going on that's fun? What do you like to do? Like, what are your favorite restaurants and favorite types of food?
Well, there's so many restaurants to explore here in Reno. And it's just, every time I turn around, there's something new. I'm kind of stuck on Grateful Gardens right now, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, aren't they awesome?
They're awesome. And the soups, Gino's soups, oh my God.
I could live on soup. I love soup.
I love it. So that's my husband and my favorite right now. But there's so many little ones that I've been to. Those just the local owned ones are the ones that really call me.
Yep, me too.
But simple and clean and.
Like Hometown Gastro Pub, Spencer's Place on right there in by Cheney and. By Shays, next door to Shays.
Okay.
Spencer Shea.
Yeah.
And he and Lacey are brother and sister. That's really good.
Yeah.
Noble Pie.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have a new one coming.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
At down in the Summit.
Right.
Where Chocolate Bar used to be. Yeah. So excited for
and
those
then,
guys.
And when I really want something sweet, I get a Dorinda's chocolate.
Oh my God, you can't beat
oh my gosh, the salted
anything
caramels.
Dorinda makes. Her dark chocolate is to die for.
I know. I just love it. It's God. She well, I don't know if I can say this or not, but she will tell you that, women have told her it's like an orgasm when they put that chocolate in their mouth.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Food is better than sex to me anyway. And it just, it just the way it melts, the mouth feels incredible.
Yeah. And it's with honey, and there's no paraffin. It's
it's all absolutely the homemade,
we could just
all
talk about
natural.
chocolate and then a little wine to go with it.
And wine and chocolate pairing. Have you ever had that? Have you ever done that?
Yes.
And beer and chocolate pairing.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, I haven't tried that.
That's fun.
Ooh.
That's fun. And I like the dark beers anyway, and a lot of those have cocoa notes in it.
Oh.
So good.
Ooh, that's a new one.
It's fun.
Oh, I'll try that.
It is. What else? Italian food.
Oh,
and where do you like to travel? Like, have you traveled a lot? Well, of course, being an aviation expert.
I have. Through the years, I have traveled a lot, and I have my favorite places. But, that's I love a good road trip.
Don't you though?
Yes.
It's hard for me now with all this arthritis to sit for that long.
Yeah.
But the best thing about road trips to me are the truck stops.
Oh, yeah.
The big gas stations, the Mavericks. Now, they're so modern now and nice. And rating them for food, the crap food, to see the big donuts they're awful.
It's
the
like,
coffee, I get the biggest coffee I can, and it gets cold, and it's gonna, but you have to because it's the best deal.
Yeah.
Because the little one's like $2, and the big one it's like $2.69. So you have to get the big one.
But in all
candy
the truck stops, they have little fun things to look at.
They do.
Little gifts and things.
I know. I always walk out of there spending $50 on nothing. Then it craps up my car. It's awful. I know, but I love road trips because of it. It's what you do. It's just what you do.
Yeah, I just love them.
I do too.
I'm trying to talk my husband into one here.
Oh yeah, to where?
I just want to get on the road. And go to these
where's a good road trip? Boise.
Oh yes.
It's an awesome road trip because it's only 6 hours, 5.5 if you drive the way I do.
Yeah.
And it's 80 now.
Yeah.
You can go 80, which means 95 to me.
Yeah.
And So it's like 6 hours north.
That's not bad.
It's not. It's a nice little drive. Couple
Yeah.
little towns you go through. You stop at Winnemucca,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a nice destination.
Yes.
Because there's great food, and it's just a nice, goofy little town. Just
Yeah.
like they have a Cracker Barrel.
Oh.
They have a melting pot.
Yes.
Fondue.
Right.
They have a Benihana. No, I guess they don't have a Benihana anymore. They might. They
Yeah.
might still have the Benihana. And it's just a nice place to go for a weekend. Eat all kinds of good food that we don't have here. Chains, they're all chains, but it's stuff you can't get here. And then come back.
Yeah.
Without going too far.
Right. Yeah.
Spending too much money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a weekend.
It's a great
I
drive.
mean, yeah.
But,
Go
you
out
know.
there a long weekend. You know, you get the craving for the road trip out of the way. You get some different food and you know,
Different people.
and
It
head
is.
on back
It's
home.
you know, it is. It's a different attitude. It's a different speed. It's a different, you know, without going too terribly far.
Yeah.
Tonopah is
love it.
another fun one.
Oh yeah. Isn't there like a lot of dirt bikes or bike trips that go through Tonopah and not a destination?
They have a couple of little restaurants there in the Clown Motel.
Oh.
They actually have there's like a pretty good restaurant there.
Yeah?
Two. There's two.
'Cause
There's
that's
a
not
little
far away.
Italian one.
Yeah.
And then there's like the little kind of American one. And they're pretty good considering.
Nice. How far away is Tonopah?
Like 2 hours, two and a half
shoot,
hours.
Yeah. See, nice. Sunday drive, right? I love Sunday drives too. Same thing. It's road trips. You know, it's just that freedom. I believe I have a gypsy side to me because I did a lot of traveling road trips when I was young.
I did too.
You know, a lot of camping, a lot of road trips, and it's just within me.
Yep.
Can I say it's part of my DNA?
Mhm.
We were just
There you
talking about
go.
DNA. I think it's part of my DNA. Just being out there
I
on the
agree.
road. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I used to, when I was an entertainment journalist when I was younger, and used to drive between Boston and Baltimore at the drop of a hat to go see a concert, to do a review or an interview or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, road trips were a thing.
Oh, well, and then the road trip to Woodstock many years ago.
Wow.
Never made it, but it was a road trip.
Wow.
I was a little young, but
That's funny.
but it's different today. You
And
know?
where are you from originally?
I was born in Oklahoma, but raised in Arizona. And yeah,
Such a fun sight to see.
this is true. Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But and so when you like for flying trips, like to go like internationally, what's your favorite international?
Italy is my favorite,
Never been.
favorite. And they have a place called Cinque Terre. It's on the coast. 5 ancient towns that still have a traveled path that you walk between the 5 towns. And what's really interesting, because I love to get into the I like to get to know the people. So I spent some time there, got to know one of the restaurant owners, a brother and sister, and they were telling me that the towns most of the people who live there are descendants of pirates.
Oh my gosh.
And it's so much fun. And then they, would tell me about the little crest on their doors, if they were, what to look for. And then during the month of August, one of the towns actually just kind of shuts down and everybody dresses in their pirate gear. And if you want to come to town, you got to dress as a pirate. I would really like to go back for that. I haven't made that one yet, but just walking in on those ancient paths between the cities.
So
and
cool.
It's so colorful and beautiful.
Yeah, I would love to go to Italy. I didn't make it. I got to go. I worked for a company that sent me to a town called Saint-Genis, France, which is right on the border of Geneva, Switzerland. So I got to go to Geneva.
Nice.
They were owned by a conglomeration of the French and Italian government. This company, it was called ST Microelectronics. So I thought I might get a chance to go to Italy, and I never made it.
Yeah.
But
it's just it's just the history.
Oh God,
so different.
Oh, Europe is
that's
neat.
yeah.
I got to go to France twice.
Nice.
And, I've been to England. Got to go through Germany through the airports, but I didn't actually go to Germany.
Yeah.
Geneva was neat, very expensive.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite part of France that you visited?
We stayed in Saint-Genis, which was a quaint little town, and I loved that. I got to go to Paris overnight and didn't really care for it. You know, the people were as they say. But Saint-Genis was neat. It was that typical quaint French village kind of place. And this was in 2001.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, it was neat.
Oh, I remember there, I had 2 young kids with me. My husband and I took our kids over there. We had business, but we made it a family trip at the same time. The kids were just giving us a hard time. They weren't, so different. So we got on a train in Paris, and we took the train all the way to don't laugh, but Disneyland in Paris.
Yeah, Euro Disney.
And then they felt.
I have a friend who manages it.
Oh, nice. But they had the hotels, like the California, but it brought a little bit of U.S., a little bit of normalcy for the young kids.
Oh, absolutely.
And I laugh about it. Here we're in Paris at Disneyland, but.
No, absolutely. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
A guy I went to high school with worked his way up from the very bottom of regular Disney in Florida, and is now either a manager or vice president, something over there at Disney. And Liz loves it.
It's amazing, Disneyland to, you think about just Florida and California, but they do have the other, is it Japan?
There's one in Japan, and then Euro Disney.
Yeah.
So, crazy. Oh, Disney is a thing.
Yeah,
God
it's
bless
a thing.
Walt. We've got to go to another break. We'll be back for the 4th and final segment of today's Rush Hour with Kelly Rush and Steffi Joe after these messages. Please stay tuned.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
The Assistance League Thrift Shop at 1701 Vassar in Reno supports programs for children, seniors, veterans, and sexual assault victims. This nonprofit thrift shop sells clothing, housewares, small appliances, and furnishings, all donated by members of our community. Their all-volunteer membership is on hand from 10 to 4, Monday through Saturday. Check their website at www.renosparks.assistanceleague.org. Help your community by shopping, donating, or joining Assistance League.
This is America Matters Media
on AM 1180 KCKQ,
a Lotus broadcast station, the power of radio since 1967.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the fourth and final segment of today's Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush, and I've got Steffi Joe with me. We're just talking about all kinds of esoteric stuff here today.
Yes.
That's kind of what the Rush Hour is all about. And what are some of your favorite business kind of philosophies? What's worked for you and made you so successful?
Well, could be a little different. I've got this business side and I got this creative side. You know, most business owners, I think, just kind of reside in that left brain and they're very business. But I have this creative side that really sparks change. You know, and if we're not changing, you know, we either have to be moving forward or backwards. So I think that creative side, I'm always looking, what can I create better? How can I look at what is working and create something new? So my business philosophy, I would say, is always grow, always learn in order to, you know, really move forward and be successful. You can't stay still. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Simple.
a good one. That's a good one. I agree with that. And I have, though, you know, this whole thing of disruption, though, disruption as a business model, I disagree with. Change and growth and improve for the sake of improvement.
Right.
1001%. Disruption as a business model, like some of what I call these kids today, which I swore I would never say when I grew up. Like going into something with just this, to me, it's destructive. The mindset is destruction.
It's totally,
when you know that,
right.
You know, breaking something down just for the sake of breaking it down, without an attempt to keep what's good about it for the great, you know, for that. It to me, that I have, my mindset is everything for the greatest good.
Yeah. Right.
Which doesn't always mean everybody's going to be happy.
Right.
And that people, I think people need to come to terms with that.
Yes. You know, it's just to, if something's not working, it's not, let's just throw this away.
Right.
Let's see what is working, what's not working, and let's improve it.
Right.
For the greater good.
Right. For the greater good. Yeah. Not everyone's good.
Right.
I mean, you know, not everybody has to be satisfied with every decision all the time.
Right.
We can't say yes to everything.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with this generation of not this generation of people who are in current control. Primarily the tail end of the last generation and the boomers. They just said yes to everything.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Yeah. No. It's non-productive.
It's just not.
Yeah.
They got lazy. They got fat and happy. And then they won't go away.
Yeah. But how were they, you know, I always look back because I always try to analyze everything. So how were they raised, and how did, you know, I truly believe we're all a product of our belief systems as we grow. We create our beliefs as we experience life. So, you know, and that changes with generations because of how we're affected by our parents, because we do create our beliefs based on what we're experiencing in our life.
However, as you grow, you need and mature, you need to revise those beliefs.
Yes.
And people don't.
Yeah. Some will, some won't.
Right.
You know, and
then
there's followers and there's leaders. You know, and so there's, you know, different personalities. And, you know, I think there's generations that those personalities, there might be a greater group of this personality during this generation and another personality in another generation. Right now there's a lot of leaders.
But they're not leaders, they're controllers.
Right. And so I would say that that's a personality type. They're not and type A is what, you know, there are a lot of type A's. And there's a lot of leaders who are type A's, but doesn't mean they're good or bad. You know, there's I'd say there's some of each, you know, but you're right, you know, we get to decide, we get to make choices as we grow. And so what part of us will be okay with that? And to know it's okay to make a choice.
Right.
And that's what I really, you know, I get passionate about women, women loving themselves again.
Right.
You know,
finding themselves.
Yes, feeling, you know, they are good enough. They are good enough just the way they are. And, you know, we're affected by our environment. But that's the message I think that is most prevalent in my heart to get out to women is you are lovable.
Or anyone.
Yes.
That has felt diminished.
Yes.
Because it's common.
It is. You know, it's not always talked about. You know, we hide it.
Right.
You know, we don't want people to know that we don't feel, you know, we don't love ourselves because we think we should love ourselves, and which is true, but yet we don't. And so, you know,
right, it's this conundrum of, you know,
just, you know, and so it's, I do believe that, you know, we're not in this world alone.
We're not.
And we're not
just
meant to be alone, right? You know, we're meant here to help each other.
But we have these things that have been put, these obstacles that have been put in place in front of us by other people who benefit from us feeling like we're alone.
That's where we have to learn, right?
So we have to get over those obstacles, and it takes each other helping each other over those obstacles and helping each other recognize them.
Yes.
And it's fun when we do. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I agree.
It feels good.
Yeah. And I think that's what we're meant to do.
I think so too.
Each other. Yeah.
I think so too.
Oh, you're just provoking thought-provoking, Kelly.
That's what I'm here
I love
for.
it. I love it.
Ooh, Ivano from La Strada has jumped in. Eddie Floyd. We'll say hi to Dana Knowles. And Sheriff Jerry Antonoro, he had me on his show today, and I'll put out the notice. He mentioned that the Special Olympics polar plunge that they do every year, he was going to join that. It's been canceled, unfortunately. So yeah, I want to let everybody know that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just, you know, I think it's important that, you know, that's part of why I do this show, is to just kind of put those thoughts out there and, you know, make people think a little bit and
provokes it, because you never know when you hear that one thing. You know, it's you could be listening to your show, and you think, oh, you know, I like the show. I'm listening in, and then one thing just can make a shift. You know, for that just what we needed to hear that day, right?
Yeah, and if I can, you know, help one person or help you help one person, you know, just those ripples, expand out, and it just kind of helps what I believe is sort of our mission.
Yeah, that's why you do what you do. I love it.
And yeah, it's just like I said, it's just
kind of warms you. Right now I'm feeling a little warm, and you know, the heart is feeling good here.
Good. That's what I want. That's what I want. And but you know, one more time, we have the eWomen 11th annual
Women's Success Summit.
Yeah, Women's Success Summit. You could go ahead and give all that information again.
It's coming up on March 18th. It's next Wednesday. It is about...
Actually, it's this Wednesday.
Oh, Oh, yes, this coming Wednesday. Oh, my gosh.
The 18th.
Yes, the 18th is coming up fast. But Sandra Yancey, she's the CEO, and she talks about how to scale your business for greater, it's about greater impact and revenue and prosperity. And as, women business owners, that's the focus, although there's men there too. It helps us to learn, that's, like I said, it's that one thing.
Sure.
You can come and learn that one thing. And then Brianna Day, she speaks about influence using social media for your company. She's awesome. And so if anyone's, interested in that. So it's a great event.
Yeah, and social media nowadays is absolutely critical. It's kind of just where people live now.
Yeah.
And why not?
Yeah.
It's easy, it's concentrated,
Right.
it's
Hey, we can talk to the world, right? It's all about we're in touch now. With the internet.
I have to admit, I was, the only reason I even got on Facebook was because of being on the air, and I'm not on there much. I don't post much, but it helps. It's helpful.
It does. I mean, and today's world is about attention being visible.
Centralization,
right?
of information.
Yes.
It is what helps.
Yeah.
But the 11th Annual Women's Success Summit with Sandra and Brianna, hosted by Sandra Yancey, is at the Atlantis, 11 to 4 on March 18th, this Wednesday. And if nothing else, go for the food. You can't beat it. So, Steffi Joe, thank you so much for joining me. That is the end of our rush hour for this evening. I will be back tomorrow, Friday. And everybody have a good night. And we'll see you again. And we'll do this again.
Thank you.
Everybody, thanks. Have a great one.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In '05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in '09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with